As a little boy, I met a man named Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. And being that little boy here today in this Firehouse Crusade Church tonight, I met the man who's able to wash my sins away. It's Jesus. Today, I met a man who loves to party in the strip clubs. I met a man who loves to party in the clubs. Met a man who loves to get drunk and drink beers and watch football. And I met a man who likes to watch WWE. His name's Jesus. Today, I met a man who is able to be there for you, the least forgotten. His name's Jesus. Today, I met a man who's drunk. I met a Vicksen. His name is Jesus. Look at your neighbor and say, I met a crazy drunk Vicksen. I met a crazy drunk Vicksen, and his name is Jehovah. There's a lot of temptations around the world, a lot of temptations around us today. A lot of temptations fall for us. The problem is a lot of temptations for us. People trying to tell you to smoke weed and smoke blunt and drink. But I stopped by to tell you I met a drunk man named Jesus. A lot of temptations around the world. And your friends, I remember I was in high school and they try to get me to smoke weed and try to get me to smoke blunt. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. They try to get me to do crazy stuff and rob banks and rob and Grand Theft Auto. I said, no. Yeah. My homeboys get in the streets. But I told them, I said, I met a crazy Vicksen's named Jesus. I don't know about you today, but there are temptations of this world, and you have to be on guard and on point because there's a crazy Vicksen, and his name's Jesus. So many temptations for us today. The question that I have for you is, who did you get drunk with in the streets, in the ghetto, in the projects? Who did you get drunk with? And his name is Jesus. But many of us today are struggling with addictions today. But there's a crazy video Vicksen artist. His name's Jesus. So many temptations around us today, but if only you could meet Jesus. Today is a wonderful day to be excited. But today I met a crazy Vicksen, crazy Jack Daniel Jesus. I don't know about you today, but there are certain temptations that I have to overcome. But before that, I met Jesus. Look at your neighbor and say, I don't know about you, but there's a crazy Vicksen. When I was a little boy, I discovered that there was a man who wanted me to do a lot of crazy things. He wanted me to be wild and out. Oh, glory. He wanted me to go run wild in the streets. Run wild! But I found out I met Jesus. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm getting crazy, but I don't know why I'm crazy. I'm getting drunk, and I don't know why I'm getting drunk because I'm hanging around this sick, filthy man. I don't know what he's trying to make me do, and I don't feel like doing. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm not in the mood. This man's trying to tell me to hang out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not in the mood. How many times have you done anything that you're not in the mood to do? A lot of times we'd be tempted to do things we don't want to do, but because of this crazy Vicksen Jesus, I was tempted not to do it. Look at your neighbor and say, I met a drunk man, and his is Jesus. Oh, glory. Today, there are so many temptations around us today, and we have to be tempted not to give in to these temptations. I don't know about you today. Your homeboy is trying to tell you to go out. Your homeboy's trying to tell you to get drunk. Your homeboy's trying to tell you to get loose. Your homeboy's trying to tell you to smoke weed. There are certain temptations in the streets, my nigga. But there's a man I run across, my nigga. His name's Jesus, my nigga. The man, I was a little boy, and he tried to tempt me to do a lot of crazy things I didn't want to do. But his name is Jesus. I don't know about you today. I was tempted to do a lot of stuff, but I found out I met a man who was crazy enough to stop me from smoking drunk. I met a man who's crazy enough to stop me from smoking weed. Okay? I met a man who tempted me to go to the strip club to smoke wine and beers. I met a man who told me to be a slut and prostitute for 85 years. And I was tempted to do a lot of things I didn't want to do. This man tempted me to do things. He tempted me to drink vodka. He tempted me to drink alcohol. He tempted me to drink Corona and Heineken. But I said, no! Whoa! Oh, Lord, help me to preach. I met a man who tempted me to do a lot of stuff, but a man is Jesus. Whoa! Oh, Lord, help me to preach. Somebody in here is tempted to do a lot of stuff, but until you met a man who is able to take you out, whoa! Oh, glory. And when you're down to your last drop and you don't know what to do and aren't able, whoa! Oh, Lord, help me to preach. Somebody here has been drunk and you met a drunk man and you don't know why you're drunk tonight. Whoa! Oh, Lord, help me. And anybody here, you was tempted, but until you